Hello everyone, hope you're fine. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel, and let's get started. World Cup 2030 to be hosted in Morocco, Spain, Portugal.
Hello everyone. In a divided world, FIFA and football are uniting. The FIFA Council, representing the entire world of football, unanimously agreed to celebrate the centenary of the FIFA World Cup, whose first edition was played in Uruguay in 1930 in the most appropriate way. As a result, a celebration will take place in South America, and 3 South American countries, Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay, will organize one match each of the FIFA World Cup 2030. The first of these 3 matches will of course be played at the stadium where it all began, in Montevideo's mythical Estadio Centenario, precisely to celebrate the centenary edition of the FIFA World Cup. Felicidades Uruguay, Argentina y Paraguay. The FIFA Council also unanimously agreed that the only bid to host the FIFA World Cup 2030 will be the joint bid of Morocco, Portugal and Spain, where 101 games will be played. Mabruk al-Maghrib, parabéns Portugal, enhorabuena España, congratulations to Europe, félicitations à l'Afrique. 2 continents, Africa and Europe, united not only in the celebration of football but also in providing unique social and cultural cohesion. What a great message of peace, of tolerance and of inclusion. So after the United States, Canada and Mexico will have organized the greatest show on earth in 2026, the World Cup will return to Europe and Africa and will be celebrated as well in South America. In 2030, we'll have a unique global footprint: 3 continents, Africa, Europe, South America, 6 countries, Argentina, Morocco, Paraguay, Portugal, Spain, and Uruguay, welcoming and uniting the world while celebrating together the beautiful game, the centenary and, of course, the FIFA World Cup. This is the FIFA Council proposal to the FIFA Congress for 2030, with 2034 moving east to Asia and Oceania to ensure appropriate rotation between continents. In a divided world, FIFA and football are uniting. World football has unanimously agreed on something as important as the hosts of the FIFA World Cup, thus setting another example of how dialogue and mutual understanding can result in agreements where actually everyone wins, in particular the fans, the players, and all the regions of the globe. So I would like to say thank you. Thank you to the 6 continental confederations, AFC, CAF, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, OFC, and UEFA, in particular their presidents and their administrations, as well as their members who took part and approved this historic agreement in a process of open and continuous consultation, facilitated and coordinated by FIFA. Everyone took a step towards each other, putting the common interests ahead of their own particular interests. And that's why I'm so happy today. This is what FIFA is all about. Bringing everyone together, bringing football everywhere. Because football unites the world and football is becoming truly global. See you soon.
Well, we came to find out today, FIFA announced that Spain, Portugal, and Morocco will jointly host the 2030 World Cup. But there's a catch. Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay will all play their opening games in that World Cup at home in Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. So that is to commemorate the 100-year anniversary. So that's FIFA trying to have their cake and eat it too and make everybody happy. But a lot of people seem bewildered by this decision. So 6 different countries across 3 different continents will host matches in the 2030 World Cup. What do you make of it?
I mean, my initial reaction is that I don't like it. And we've talked a little bit over the last couple of pods, and I think over the last couple of years, about how I think that a World Cup the best World Cups are reflective of the country and the culture and the society that they are held in. And they have a flavor of their own. And I know that the train's left the station when it comes to joint hosting going forward. But this, and in particular this, because we had talked last pod about possibly, with the centennial celebration, which is certainly something that should be celebrated, 1930 to 2030, giving something to that neck of the woods, if you will. But this is kind of like just, yes, I see what they're trying to do, but I guess now it's 6 teams that obviously play 3 games, 1 game in each of those countries, and then they fly back over to join. And the jet lag that's involved there, it just seems like they're kind of patting those countries on the head, as opposed to doing what I think a lot of us thought they were going to do, which was bring it back to its origins and celebrate where it all started. And I'm not sure anything is going to change when it comes to the way that they're framing this, and we'll get to 2034, I guess it would be too. But when it comes to 2030, it'll still be a great World Cup, and I think the Morocco involvement, I think, is awesome.
I agree. It's wonky. It's weird to me. I don't like the way they did it. They should have just picked one or the other. It is interesting that Paraguay gets in there. As a matter of fact, a little trivia, Paraguay's first ever World Cup match was against the U.S. The U.S. won 3-0. Bert Patenaude scored all 3 goals. First hat trick in World Cup history. But the more conspiratorial folks think it has to do with the fact that CONMEBOL's headquarters are in Paraguay. CONMEBOL's president, Alejandro Dominguez, is Paraguayan, so that's why they get in there. And that's big for them because all 3 of those countries, Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay, automatically qualify for that World Cup. Obviously, Uruguay and Argentina, based on their pedigree, you assume would have qualified anyway. Paraguay, not so much. They would have been on the bubble, and so they get in there. Chile does not.
Let's be honest, everybody's qualifying for World Cups now. I mean, with the continued expansion of World Cups. Look, I think my initial reaction, I think as we get closer, I think this is going to be something fun, something interesting, and something different. But on the surface, it's too big, it's too spread out. I mean, it should be noted that when people actually talk about the World Cup tournament, it is a global tournament in that the qualifying for the World Cup finals happen all over the world. But the World Cup finals, whether it was 16 teams or 24 teams or 32 teams or 48 teams, have always kind of happened in one area of the world. And that celebration of bringing everybody together in the same way that, the signing of accords or treaties or, a festival or a fair or anything else, brings people together in one place. And that's not what this World Cup is going to do. I will be interested what that logo looks like, Mossy. I mean, how are you going to fit all of these flags and all this kind of stuff? And you're going to have one for every single one. But, this is the way that it's going. I mean, a player that plays in the 2030 World Cup is going to have a vastly different, and I guess relative to an older guy like me, strange experience of playing in a World Cup, especially if you're one of those 6 teams. And the U.S. is going to be one of those 6 teams, right?
Yeah, and you teased it. The second part of today's news is they also revealed that the 2034 World Cup will take place in either Asia or Oceania. Saudi Arabia have promptly launched a bid for 2034. I don't know about you, but my money's on them getting it.
I mean, look, unless the wonderful folks in Tahiti and Fiji and other places get together and we have a 10 or Australia for that matter, we have a 10 or 12 country type of World Cup down there. This is going to Saudi Arabia, man. We are going back to Saudi Arabia, whether you want to or not. They have all the money, they have all the power, they have kind of lined this up, and I think it'll be a great World Cup. But this is kind of a situation where everything now is in place for what Saudi Arabia has started long ago and now wants to come to fruition. And so, yeah, I mean, it would surprise me, you, and everybody if anybody but Saudi Arabia isn't host. And in that sense, I could be wrong, Mossy, but I think that might be a single country hosting the World Cup. And so maybe it is a return to that one country type of World Cup if they don't end up being joint with anybody else going forward. Do you think it's ultimately going to be joint if it is Saudi Arabia involved?
All I've heard so far is just Saudi Arabia. We'll see.
Yeah.
The other bit of hosting news today, which was actually the first news I woke up to, but it got completely overshadowed by the FIFA stuff, is Euro 2028, which we have on Fox Sports. They were planning to announce the host for that next week, and Turkey have dropped out, which leaves the UK-Ireland bit as the only one, so that's what it's going to be. So Euro 2028 is going to be England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Republic of Ireland.